I can't tell the story is hilarious or heartbreaking. I think you'll decide. There's a pastor in Colorado that scammed his congregation out of $3.2 million. No, it's a heartwarming story. It was all for crypto. He made a coin. And he passed it off to his congregation, saying that the Lord wanted to bless them. And then they invested. And then he's now been caught and is being charged with fraud. And he pocketed 1.3 million of the 3.2 million. And so he came out and he made a video. And in the apology video, he is very honest. He's like, listen, the Lord spoke to my wife and I and said to, make this coin and everything. And I even said to God, I like how he acts like God is a guy, just like, and that he's a guy that he can't get on the phone right now, but was talking wild a couple weeks ago. And so it's like, and then look, I was even asking God, because I'm not even omniscient like God is. I'm not over here like God. And I even asked God, I was like, where's the liquidity going to come from? And honestly, if your pastor ever says liquidity to you, that should be the first sign to run. Run as fast as you can, as far away as possible. And so he's like, I even asked God, where's the liquidity going to come from? And God said, trust me. And so then I immediately told you it would be fine. That's my bad. I want you to know, out of that 1.3 million that my wife and I pocketed, 500,000 went to the IRS, which is a meaningless detail, by the way. Like, yes, you paid your taxes, but that's just a weird thing that the pastor did to be like, hey, look, while we're being honest, I got fucked too, okay? IRS really get everybody, don't they? It's like, as much as we hate the IRS, you're not going to flip this around on them right now. And then he got caught, and he's like, yes, we did spend it on some trips and a home renovation that the Lord told us to do. I'm starting to think that Lord is just some guy's last name to him. Just a Marcus Lord that does a lot of cocaine. It's like, I got a new coin. You should tell your peeps, you should get them in on it. Because I've read a good portion of the Bible. And I don't know. No, like, I'm not saying I'm smarter than everyone that was in the congregation. I'm expressly not saying that. Like, but it is a thing where it's like, if you read the Bible, what he's saying will be weird. You know what I mean? Like, if you read the Bible and you have a general understanding of it, when a guy comes to you and he's like, listen, the Lord about them gains, okay? I think it makes it easier for you to be like, oh, I think this guy is full of shit. Thank you. But that's a scary thing, though, is that, like, there's a blurred line now, blurred almost to the point of being indistinguishable between, like, pastors and influencers. You know what I mean? Like a pastor used to be, at least where I come from, a pastor used to at least be poor. You know what I mean? When a pastor is poor, they're very easy to believe. Because you see how poor they are, and they're like, oh, you really about that life. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's like a poor pastor is like it's like a gang member that has been shot a few times, where you can see the lumps. And you're like, oh, you're really dangerous. Okay. A pastor that's poor makes a more convincing argument. Because even when you try to check their work, you're like, if nothing else, even if they are absolutely out of their mind, they at least believe this because they're willing to dedicate their whole life to, and to it exactly, to it only, right? To whatever mission they feel like God has led them to. They're willing to focus solely on that to the point of being completely removed from the world, right? So any worldly thing doesn't affect them. They have no interest in it. They're only focused on whatever the thing is. Maybe it's helping people. Maybe it's spreading the word. Maybe it's knocking on doors at 6 a.m. or whatever they feel led to do. And then a rich pastor tells, like a rich pastor has a more alluring argument. Because a rich pastor rolls up in a Rolls Royce in a $10,000 suit with a $200,000 watch and a pinky ring. Like, the amount of pastors dressing like pimps needs to be talked about. Do you know what I mean? It's like there's too many wires crossing with, like, I'll see a pastor dressed fully like Don Bishop Juan, and I'll be like, oh, yes, you are pimping your congregation. Yes, I get it. Wow. And in their faces too, you're brazen with it because you dress rich in front of them and they're poor to make you rich. And wow, that is ballsy. Maybe you do have God's protection. That's crazy that you're going to do that in their face. And then you tell them what you buy. If you see these televangelists, they tell the people what they bought with the money that they said was going to missions and to... Because when the plate is getting passed around, it's so that we can help the poor and that we can spread the word and that we can, sort of build up the church to have things for you as a community. One of the only reasons to have church is for a community. It doesn't even have to be fully like-minded people. It can just be people that you feel like safe and in communion with. And so, yes, sometimes everybody pulls their money together and then they're like, what would be great is a rec center for the kids. And then a church will put all their money into building a building that could be a rec center for the kids so that they don't get in trouble. There are lots of things and ways that churches spend money that I do think are good. And so when I see like a mega church's facilities, I'm not immediately skeptical. It's when I see the person and he's dressed so much like a pimp. Like, I cannot stress this enough. It is full pimp outfit. Like, it's to the point of tacky. Like, we're not even talking about just because he has a suit. I'm talking about he has like, they are all stopping short of a cane. Like, they're millionaires in your face, and they're telling you, I have all this stuff because, because God blessed me with this jet. I purchased this jet for the Lord so that I could fly from place to place quicker, spreading the message. And I would even believe that if we didn't have Zoom. If Zoom was not a thing, I would get a pastor being like, I have to get over there to spread the word as quickly as possible. They don't know. They have no idea. And it's not like we can send them a telegram or something. It's not like there's been iterations of communication for decades that would negate me buying a jet to fly it to, I'm not going to tell you where. Like, how did we get here? And look, it is probably, it's probably an easy thing to have happen. It is. It's probably, I think that I'm trying to be gracious for a second. I really am. I'm trying to extend an olive branch for a second and just, no, just hear me out. I do think that there's something that speaks to these pastors, but I think what has happened is that they have mistaken God for their intrusive thoughts. Do you know what I mean? Because I don't know all of you, I don't know, exactly what your lives are like. I don't know if you grew up with religious or not, or what religion or anything. I'm just saying, as individuals, every single one of us here, if we were to lead a congregation and we were to pass around a jar or a plate, collection plate, anything like that, and everybody gave something because we made a compelling case that it is your job as a citizen of the world to help people that you may never meet, right? Is your actual duty as a living, breathing, empathetic individual that you have to do something if someone somewhere is hurting. You don't need to know them, and you don't need to know why they got there. That's none of your business. It's important to help someone. And then the plate gets passed around, and you make such a compelling argument that everybody puts, $1, $5, $10, or like the Bible says, 1/10 of their income to help the poor. And then church is over. Everybody leaves. And then you go to the back office where they have piled up all the money, and you do look at it and go, nigga, we rich. I mean, wow. Oh, we really cooking right now. Oh, man, I get the pinky with the soup. Oh. I'm not going to get the cane. That's too much, but oh. Just looking at a pile of money, a pile of envelopes with 1/10 of someone's paycheck in order for them to either spread the word of God or help people that they will never meet, build a well, do something so it matters that we were here, right? And then you see the money and it's stacked pretty high because it's a big church. And you look at all that money and it's hard not to be like, game time? That's a tough thing. A friend said to me today, because I was telling him about the story, and he said to me that if churches did what they were supposed to do, we might not have much homelessness. You know what I mean? Like if churches were really about it, in a compelling way, in a way that was genuinely uncomfortable. In a way that was like, I'm going to tell you a story, and you're going to judge me, but it's fine. I was at a theater when I first moved to Chicago. And when I first moved to Chicago, I didn't have any money, right? And I especially did not have much to spare. But I was at a show, and I was at that show because it was free. So it was a free midnight show that I loved so much. I made sure to go there every Thursday night because I knew it was a free show. I could do something. I could meet other comics. I could, learn by watching them and everything, because everyone on the show was incredibly funny. It's actually a sketch show, ironically enough. And there was a person that came in, and she came in and she clearly had nothing, right? Her clothes were torn and everything. Her hair was a little messed up, and she had a little bit of a limp. And she was asking people for change. And you got to remember, this is like a kind of swanky place. Like it has a little bit of that underground grunge feel to it, but it's also like a nice place with a nice bar and everything. And so everybody was like, no, 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 no. And everyone was varying degrees of like just ignoring, politely saying no, being aggressive, get out of here sort of thing. And then someone came and they asked her to leave, right? And so I see all that happen. I'm sort of sitting in the back towards where the showroom is. And then this was all happening towards the front. She didn't get far in. I watch the show. And I'll be honest, I didn't really think about her while I was watching the show. I was thinking about what an incredible show this was, how thankful I was that it was free and everything. And then the show lets out. And I guess because a couple hours had passed, she gave it another try. So she came in, she was asking people for change. And once again, it was varying degrees of not looking at her, asking her to leave them alone and everything, politely saying no. And so then I had about $3 in my pocket. And so I saw her the second time, and I felt so bad about how the first time went and that I didn't do anything, that I went ahead and I gave her the $3. And when I gave her the $3, she took it and she looked at me and she said, "Oh, thank you so much." And then she jumped and hugged me tight. And what should have been a sweet moment was mainly just me being like, "Oh my God, oh 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 my God, oh, 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 oh." And then she walked off, happy as could be, walked out of the venue. And then I was like, I gotta wash my hands, I gotta wash my hands, I gotta wash my hands, I gotta wash my hands. And I think that, you know, I look back at that and I'm not proud of that. I'm not proud of how I reacted or anything. But that does feel like what church should feel like. Like, instead of just being boring, it should be like, oh my God, man. Oh wow, everybody really is welcome. Oh, oh, jeez. All right, cool.
Cool. How y'all doing? Everybody good? Yeah. All right, sweet. I am not. I've been freaking out about getting older because sometimes you haven't changed, you know? You're the same as you've always been, but your friends around you, it's like your peers doing grown shit that makes you realize you're getting older. Like my buddy bought a house and I had to be like, hey, we don't do that. All right? My friends had a baby. They were so excited. They were the first in the friend group to have a baby, but they were so excited that they sent me a picture of them in the delivery room with the dad cutting the cord. And I was immediately upset. Like, in my head, I was like, why do we even let him do that? Think about it. This dude is cutting the finish line tape on a race he didn't run. This is wild. For all the labor, he was just standing there, and then last second, he's like, I helped. It's like, it's not the same at all. She's been screaming for hours. At the very end, he's like, me too, girl. Shit, we did it, all right? No, I'm terrified of having kids, because kids are creepy. You know kids creepy? Nobody teach them how to be creepy, and they're still creepy. Which means it's an A, you know? Anybody here who's babysat a 5 or 6 year old has had that kid under the right lighting, look at you, but do this. Like, who is this for? Who taught them this? They'll just stand at the end of a hallway and talk to you like the Shine, like, hi. Kids whisper at night. Have you heard? You can't get a kid to whisper during the day. And then at night they're like, I had a bad dream. Get out of my face. Get out of my face. Get out of my face right now. Don't touch me, all right? It's creepy as hell. I'm terrified to be a dad, because I'm a dad, I'll be tired. Being a dad makes you tired. I'll be damned if I tuck my child in. I go to my room to rest my head on the pillow to get some Christian sleep. Only to be woken up in the middle of the night. There's a monster under my... I'm hitting them immediately, all right? I'm waking up swinging. This is the only situation where I feel like you gotta hit your kids because it's self-defense, okay? You're not gonna roll up on me in my sleep doing hard S's like that, you know? Just in my face in the middle of the night. I couldn't sleep. You're about to sleep forever, I promise you. Get away from me. Don't touch me. It's terrifying. I've been very excited. Very, very excited for October 24th. Just not able to wait. Sleepless nights. Getting ready for October 24th. If you don't know, October 24th is when Britney Spears' book comes out. My man. Like, this is the thing. This is the thing. I'm fascinated. I wasn't even like a big Free Britney person. I'm not into pop stars that much or anything. But Britney Spears is one of the most mistreated celebrities that we have in modern times, all right? And there's a lot of people, if you do them wrong, they try to get back at you immediately, right? You do them wrong, they key a car. They go on Instagram Live talking about, oh, you know. She didn't do that. She said, you know what? I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait like 2 decades. And then one random day in October, I'm gonna dance with knives. I'm gonna write a book. And wow, yeah, amazing. Apparently, so there's a lot of revelations in the book, but one of them that really shook me was that she had a wild fling with Colin Farrell, right? And it was after her and Justin broke up and everything, and I can't remember exactly how she described it, but the words used in the book was like the fling was nothing less than just a sexual brawl. Those were her words. I've never had sex so good somebody wrote about it. You know what I mean? And the fact that she was like, we were just at each other all the time. It was just, the passion was like a street fight. I was like, God damn, gotta step my game up. I love doing comedy because I love making people laugh. When you laugh, you're letting yourself be yourself, you know? When you're genuinely laughing, you're not thinking about anything, you're not feeling pain, you're just enjoying yourself, you know? And I also love doing comedy because I'll say the thing that we all think, but you're not supposed to say. You know what I mean? Like, y'all won't say it, because y'all are good people. In fact, after I'm done, you might leave and be like, I would have never said that. And you're right, that's why I say it. It's like my job to say it. I'll give you an example right now. I hope everybody that I love dies in the order I love them. That would be incredible. That would truly be fire. Don't act like y'all have rankings. Don't do that. There's a couple, you know. I got a family member, she loved to call me to tell me who died. That's all she would call me. And she doesn't care. As soon as she knows, I know. She'll call me in the middle of my workday. It'll be 1:59 on a Wednesday. Can't wait. Calls me up. Are you sitting down? Are you sitting down always means dead, by the way. That's not, you're not being mysterious. I'm not like, well, what? Like, no, it always means dead. No one's ever like, are you sitting down because you just won the lottery? It's not happening. You know? Are you sitting down? And so I'm like, just tell me who it is. And she's like, your cousin Willie. And she doesn't know I'm on the other end of the phone like, oh, thank goodness. Okay, because she doesn't know Willie not even in the top 30, all right? Like, Willie can go, okay? This could have been a text message if I'm being honest with you. And you know what? That's the other thing, too. Willie wasn't even dead. Right? I know, for nothing. Willie wasn't even dead. Basically, Willie was at her house, and he ate a bunch of the, grown man, by the way, ate a bunch of the melatonin gummies thinking they were regular gummies. So he's snacking on these gummies while he watched an NBA draft and put himself 86 gummies deep into a coma. This man was chumping and chumping and then had the nap of a lifetime. That's why I don't like Willie to begin with. He's a knucklehead. You know what I mean? Like, he's one of the dumbest people I ever met. I had never wanted to necessarily get into martial arts. When I was a little kid, I was hoping I would grow enough to be a big enough man that nobody would mess with me. You know what I mean? Like, when I was little, I was like, there's still time. I'm gonna eat my greens, and I'm gonna keep going. So it works for Popeye, it'll work for me, you know. And then at 19, I was like, yep, I am done cooking. I need to come up with a plan or something, because right now, I'm very movable, okay? This is unacceptable. And so I started doing jujitsu. And if you don't know what jujitsu is, it's a martial art, and it's also the only time straight men are allowed to hug. And I started doing jujitsu, and there was a kid. Okay, so I'm a white belt, right? After 2 years, I'm still a white belt, so I'm not good. I'm actually pretty bad. And then they always have me roll is the sparring. They always have me roll with this kid, and he 15, but he weirdly strong. I don't like it. It's like, cause you can, he looked 15, but then he get a hold of you like, oh my God, like it's terrifying. He's strong as hell, and he's a blue belt, and he should be higher. That's unacceptable. I feel like they gaslight me keeping him blue because he doing high level stuff to me. It doesn't feel right. You know what I mean? Like there's a very thin line in jujitsu from getting submitted and getting fucked. Like it's really bad. And so I had to quit doing jujitsu because last time, okay, so this is the last lesson that I did, right? So they were teaching us a drill, and then they had us just roll with each other, right? And he got a hold of me quick, because like I said, he's strong, so he grabbed me. I was like, ah, you know, and then he had put me, so imagine that the wall is the ground, okay? So he's on top of me, and then he had moved me. He like, I'm not a flexible person, but he had pushed me to where I'm like, this is the base of what's happening, and he's on top of me. And so now I'm trying to push him off, but like this is not a great position to be in. So then I'm over here just like I'm not getting any track, like I can't get him off because he's strong, and and then finally there was this moment, and we've all had this moment where it's loud somewhere, and then it gets quiet just in time for you to get embarrassed. You know what I'm talking about? You ever been at a club and then it's just in between songs, it's quiet for a second, and everybody hears you go, my tampon! Like that's basically what happened. So I'm over here fighting for my life, right? I'm just like over non-stop. And then out of nowhere, I'm like, and like, and it should have been quiet. Everybody was making noise a second before that. And then he get quiet, and then he stop and he get up. And then everybody's looking at me like I brown belted myself. And he's like, are you good? I'm like, yeah, I'm good. Let's roll. And he's like, nah, I'm alright. I had to leave class. I was so embarrassed. I left early, and I just decided, all right, I'm done with jujitsu. I'm just gonna buy a gun. Like, anybody want to press with me? They can catch his lead. Yeah. We have it happening again. You know, I've been dreading this towards the end of the year. Next year, in 2024, we unfortunately have another presidential election. Why are we still doing this? We've proven the president can basically be dead, and we will still function like normal. I don't know why we're still putting up this charade. I don't know about him. Like, what are you doing? I was talking to my friend about it because I've been dreading it so much, and my friend said something interesting. He said, you can tell who's gonna win by who has the most mockable voice. Right? So like Barack Obama had a more mockable voice than John McCain. Trump had a more mockable voice than Hillary. But then it falls apart. Because I don't think Biden has a more mockable voice than Trump. Trump's like an actual character. You know what I mean? I have a different metric. I think whoever's the freakiest wins. Do you know what I mean? Like, Barack and Michelle were laying it down way harder than John McCain and his wife. That was when Barack still had the good hips and everything, you know. And we know about all these porn stars that Trump has tried to smash, that he has smashed, you know, bigger freak than Hillary. And I'm gonna go out on a limb and say it. I think Biden is a bigger freak than Trump. I do. Remember when he started running and was smelling the back of everybody's necks? Remember that? We had to beg him to stop. We were like, Joe, nobody does this. This is insane. Y'all remember what I'm talking about. He would just be up on somebody like... doing that weird ass whisper, just like, that's some good neck meat you got. I used to be one of these dudes that was like, I'm never getting married. Never. Like, when I was 20, I was like, I'm never getting married. I can't even imagine it. Why would anybody do that? Whatever, right? And then I worked at a bar when I was 20. And so a lot of the people that came to the bar and a lot of people that I worked with were older than me. But now that I'm older, they're middle-aged, right? So I see what happens when you keep that attitude of like, I'm just never getting married. No, not me, bachelor for life. I've seen it now. And it's not good. It's actually pretty bad. You know, we need to work on interpersonal skills, love each other, find somebody, and make it work. Because this is rough out here. They're not doing well. Because this is the thing. No matter who you are, when you get married, marriage is you having a life partner. You know what I mean? It's you having someone that can look at you as you get older and be like, hey, that's weird. Don't do that outside the house. Don't embarrass me in front of other people because they know we're together, all right? But if you don't have that, if you're not married and you don't have that, you just keep going through life and you get weirder and you think it's normal because you with you all day. So you were like, I think it's a good idea, let's do it. And before you know it, you that weird dude. It's very upsetting, right? And this is the thing, this is the main way that I've watched it manifest, is that, how do I put this? Okay, when you get older and you take all that unmarried energy and you put it into something, most dudes put it into a passion or a hobby, right? Now, if your passion or hobby is useful to the world, then it's not a big deal. You know, if you do science and you're like, I'm never gonna get married, no, never, then you just pour that into doing extra science. And then you discover something, people be like, wow, what a brilliant man. Thank goodness he dedicated his life to science. That's almost never happening. Usually, you put it into a weird-ass hobby. I got a friend. He put it all that unmarried energy into scams. That's all he does is scams now. And he be telling me about the scam. Okay, for all the fellas in here, do you know when you get the DM from the Instagram model with no followers and she needs money? That's him. That's him every time. He hitting everybody up. He got me. That's just, it's everybody. He's hitting them up. And I was like, who falls for this? And he's like, honestly, people that look like me. Like, it's pretty wild. Reminds me of that dude. Y'all see that dude? That dude that they caught, he had been faking heart attacks at all the restaurants. Oh, yeah. Okay, if you didn't see the story, basically this dude who looks like a walking heart attack was going to restaurants and faking heart attacks to get out of paying the bill. And he got off at like 19 different restaurants. They were just so thankful he didn't die in their booth that they were like, I guess you can just go. Just please leave. Don't die here, right? And then he finally got caught, and I feel like he got caught because that 20th restaurant was probably a Waffle House. probably his server would be like, you ain't dying without tipping me. Get your ass up. Get your ass up. Or even worse, they tried to help him. Some big cook comes out of the kitchen like, let me give him mouth to mouth. He gets up, he's like, actually, no, I'm sorry, this is a scam. Please send me to jail. I apologize. But that's what happens. You put all that energy into something that's not productive. It makes you weirder. Taking all that unmarried energy, you know. Like, I got a buddy, he's the only black ventriloquist I've ever met in my life, and it is so upsetting. This is an abomination, all right? This is so creepy. It's so, and he's not good. He's not good at all. We can all see him talking. We all see it. And then he making the doll move, but he can't stop looking at the doll too, so he's like, what's up, my boy? Like, it's jarring. And honestly, also, real quick, I do owe white people an apology, because I'd always made fun of my white friends who were scared of dolls and thought they were too creepy and freaking everything. And I get, now that there's one that looks like me, I get it. This thing is disgusting. It's so freaky. It's just looking, his eyes and everything. I'm sorry, I judged too harshly. It's very creepy. But it's not just the dudes. A lot of the women that I know, middle-aged, I ain't never getting married. And now, they all do one thing. They have different lives, different passions, careers, but they all do one thing. They be hugging me way too long. They be doing these long-ass hugs, and they moan the whole hug. Y'all ever had one of those church hugs? You know what I'm talking about? Like, sugar. How you been? How you been, baby? How you been? I even caught one of them. She was like, how you been? Y'all been great. Thank you so much. You guys have a good one.
Cool. How y'all doing? Everybody good? Oh, sweet. This has been a terrifying night so far for me.
How are you gonna follow that up?
Oh, how am I gonna follow her? Oh, no, just kidding. What? No, you wanted to talk, so I'm just giving you the floor. Yeah.
No, I'm not.
You sure?
You're the comedian. Sorry.
No, you just made it weird for everyone. Do you do this all the time? Is this your job? Did I fuck up? I'm sorry. You usually just go to places and make it weird. Do you knock on windows during people's sex? Just, hey, how you gonna follow her ex? What the fuck? Like I said, nothing but weird stuff has happened to me tonight. It has been completely jarring. Because a lot of people are celebrating Halloween tonight, which in New York is a horrible idea. This city is not made for Halloween because it is too difficult to distinguish the people celebrating and the real crackheads. That's... You know what I mean? I be letting people get close. You asking questions, this is devastating. I saw a dude with, I don't know what's outfits and what's not. I saw a dude with pants but just one leg. He had a pant. Like an actual, but you see what I mean, right? One leg naked and the other leg business casual, right? One side I'm going somewhere, one side booty shorts. It's insane. Half of him is dressed for the apocalypse and the rest is present day. And he was just acting like it was nothing. I was like, maybe it's a choice. I have no idea. I saw one dude who was just in pajamas, but he didn't have any socks or shoes on, and he was by himself sucking his thumb. I was like, I think that this one is crazy. I think, am I crazy? That one feels different. He not hanging out with anybody, you know what I mean? If him and his boys were all sucking thumbs together, I'd be like, all right, they a group of oddballs. But my man just by himself going, when the train coming? Ugh. No. There was a guy that sat next to me while I was on the train. So he has this blood thing, across the forehead, and it's trickling down and stuff. And he starts the conversation just normal, and he was asking me to make sure he was on the way to 34th Street, right? And it's Halloween, so it's supposed to be okay for someone who's covered in blood to just ask you for directions. It's I would be weird if I was like, oh, because then that's me not understanding it's a holiday, right? And then, so I tell him yeah, we're on the way. We're headed into the city, so you're gonna hit 34th Street if you just stay on a few more stops. And by the way, I think that this is so cool. I've never seen anybody get it that detailed. And he was like, oh no, I'm going as Jim Halper. This is I got in a fight with a nigga on the way to the train. I was like, all right, if you say so. Oh, that's my thing. I think my only way of telling, which maybe this isn't fair, but my only way of telling who's crazy and who's in costume is by the number of costumes. So somebody in one costume, that's a regular person. You know what I mean? If somebody's in two costumes at the same time, that's a kid. That's a kid who couldn't make up his mind. He's like, I want to be Batman and Elsa. It's like, all right, cool, yeah. That's okay. All right, we'll get you half Batman, like Batman up top, Elsa bottom, I guess. I don't know. But if they're wearing 7, that is mental illness. That's happening the rest of the year, too. You know what I mean? If they look like Spider-Man and they just got fairy wings on the back of their head and they got Thanos wrists, it's like, all right, you're doing a lot. Just watch them. Oh. This is also the worst night in New York to get robbed. Because it's the one night where you could give the most accurate description that make you sound crazy. You know what I mean? You know, if I got robbed tonight, I was like, okay, so Minnie Mouse and Captain America went that way, all right? If you turn the corner, you can still catch them. I had a conversation with my uncle. My uncle got in an argument with his girlfriend. My uncle still has girlfriends because he didn't have his life together. So I'm just saying, my man needs to settle down or settle up, you know? Like, it's odd. But they got an argument because they were watching a movie. And in the movie, the couple that the movie is about, towards the end of the movie, they've been married for 60 years, and then she dies. And then within a week, he dies. But he didn't have any pre-existing conditions, so he just died of old age and clearly of grief, right? Right? And then she did the same thing. She turns to my uncle, and she's like, oh, that's so sweet. Do you think that'll happen with us? And then my uncle was like, hell no. Which I'm like, first of all, just say yes, bro. Like, just... My uncle be picking the weirdest times to be honest. Like, that's so odd. Just say yes. That's what people are looking for. Reassurance. Say yes. Is a clear answer. Is also, you know, just say yes, you know. But then they got in a fight. Because then she was like, why don't you think you would die if I died? And then he was like, look, if you died, I'd be sad. But if a week passed, I'm not going to kill myself just to, like, stay in the timeline. And then she's like, well, why don't you love me enough to just die after I die? Like, she turned into, like, a real fight. And he was like, look, first of all, this conversation doesn't make any sense because I'm clearly going to die before you, okay? I'm overweight, I got high blood pressure. So let me ask you this, are you willing to kill yourself in 8 years? Oh, that's a real thing that I've noticed in my friends' relationships. I've even had it a couple times where there's a hypothetical at play that's never gonna happen, but it'll usually, I think in almost every case that I can think of, is like usually the girlfriend, where they're like, would you still love me if I was like a spy? If I was like a spy and I was on the run, you could only see me twice a year, would you still like love me or would you like move on? You know? And you're supposed to be like, yeah, I'd still love you and we would make it work logistically or, you know, whatever. And it's like, I get it. I get, you know, there's scenarios that pop in your head and you want reassurance from the person. Hey, would you still love me if this thing happened? But some of them are too crazy. Like, would you love me if I was like a ladybug? How is it gonna make me, you know what I mean? Like, think about that. It makes me look bad if I say no. But then if I say yes, I look like I fucked ladybugs. Which is worse? Which one do you want to be in a relationship with less? You know, I don't know. Dudes do plenty of like weird, annoying, dumb stuff. There's just not as many dudes doing that hypothetical thing, you know? Like, I just don't know of a guy who's rolling over in the middle of the night like, babe, wake up. Wake up. Were you sleeping? Wake up. Do you have work tomorrow? Wake up. Wake up, babe. Wake up. Would you still love me if I, like, cheated? See what I mean? See how you're like, what am I supposed to say to this? Did y'all see the first dates list that's been going viral? It's like a list of first dates that people need to stop taking women on. Some of you have seen it. Okay, in case you haven't seen it, basically, there was this whole thing that I'm pretty sure was fake, that of this woman going to the Cheesecake Factory, and then she won't get out the car because it's a Cheesecake Factory. And so, which, this was, I'm not gonna lie, whether the video is fake or real, the video did make me laugh in the beginning because the guy is driving her to the date. The date turns out to be Cheesecake Factory. Then he gets out to open the door for her, which I think went out in the 1890s, right? So then... Clearly a better man than most, right? Gets out of the car, walks around, and there she locked the door. It's his car, locked the door, and then rolled down the window. Was like, I'm not going to Cheesecake Factory. And then he gets back in the car. And anyway, they decide, not to go on the date, whatever, right? But it sparked this whole thing. It sparked this whole debate on, like, if Cheesecake Factory was nice or whatever. So then the list came out of, like, places to stop, places women are done going on first dates at. And the list has 28 different things on it, and it is most places. So like, ladies, just admit you don't like us. Like, that's... Because half the list is very reasonable. Half the list, I was like, who is doing this, right? There are things on the list that are crazy. Because remember, the whole list, first date, right? So there's things on the list that should just never... Church was one. I was like... You just springing church on people? You're not even letting them get right before you pull up? Imagine you go on a first date, they want to surprise you, you get out and it's church. It's a surprise. Just sprung church on somebody. And you gotta be careful about people who spring church on you, because usually it's a cult. Like, if y'all going to church on like a Thursday at 6, that's not regular church hours. That's not what we're doing at established churches. Some of the list was, I'm not gonna lie, I thought a lot of the list was very reasonable, Like church was one. Another one that blew my mind, the gym. You only do that if you try and make her your enemy. Like, you just, let's go to a place that we could both use. It's insane. Towards the top of the list is Chili's and Chipotle, right? And I will say this, just from my experience, if you take a woman on a first date to Chili's or Chipotle, ladies, if he's taking you on a first date, Chili's or Chipotle, he is trying to give you the D, okay? And by D, I do mean diarrhea. Like, that is absolutely chaotic. Chipotle, first date, you just want her with full of burrito. That's insane. Who raised you? Like, that's... No. Buffet was one. And buffet is super reasonable. That is reasonable. You're taking a first date on a buffet, what are you trying to test her for? What's the plan here? It's like, you can't be with me unless you can clear 3 plates, okay? This is an audition, all right? We eat in this family. This is crazy. And to be fair, a lot of the stuff, whether it's reasonable or not, that was on the first date list, I have friends who were taken on all of those first dates. You know what I mean? So they are happening, I had a friend, dude took her on a first date to a buffet, and then they get there and she's like, oh, okay, didn't know, but let's make the most of it. Brings the plate up, starts, making making her plate very responsible portions. She gets back. He comes back 3 minutes later. He got a whole pyramid of food. Like, it is crazy as he sits down and then he just starts pounding egg rolls. Like, just this man, like it's a contest, just nonstop. Egg roll, egg roll. Where you from? Egg roll, egg roll, egg roll, egg roll. What are your ambitions? Egg roll, egg roll, egg roll, egg roll. And then finally, he choke, right? And this is a thing that I'm being serious for a second. Outside the dating stuff, just as us, fellas, as men, we have got to start chewing. All right, most of the choking in this country is us. Almost all of it is us. It's just men being happy and being like, "Oh, it's real good." Like that every day. That's happening to us. That's nobody's fault but us. It's our mouth. All right. So just please, bro, chew. Please chew. I'm begging you. Too many men are dying unnecessarily of delicious food and not paying attention. And so then he start choking. She get up from the table, go around to his side, gives him the Heimlich. He spits the food out, sits down, and it's like, oh, can't believe that happened. Oh my God, thank you so much. You saved my life. I want to hear more about your job. I'm going to get another plate. I'll be right back. Did you learn nothing? One of my favorites, though, one of my favorites that I do agree with, that's on the list. And I know some people are going to come for me, but number 10 on the list is Wingstop. Now, if you're not from this country or you don't know what a Wingstop is, just know they don't have seating, okay? Like, almost none of it. If you taking a woman to Wingstop, it's because she's a fugitive. It's like, baby, we got to get in and get out. I don't want you seen. You know what I mean? We on the run together. This was your scenario that you asked me if I would still love you, so. That's crazy. Because Buffalo Wild Wings is also on the list. But at least at Buffalo Wild Wings, the one caveat I have for it is if y'all are both into sports, you can watch the game and eat something in a booth. You can have a good time together. Wingstop just got 2 trash cans and some high-top tables. Because Wingstop don't want you to eat at Wingstop. Wingstop is like you order and you get the fuck out. I don't even want to look at you right now. Also, wings on a first date is chaos. That's a setup right there. You just want to make sure she's a hunter. What are you doing? No. I've had to delete some apps from my phone. My phone finally filled up. That's when you start making decisions. When you see that thing cannot be backed up on the cloud, you start being like, oof, do I need to know the weather? Like. And I had to delete the Citizen app. Yeah, no. If y'all don't have the Citizen app, I'm begging you, don't download it. All right. The Citizen app is insane. If you don't know what it is, it's an app that tells you what crimes are happening around you and in the city at large, which nobody needs to know. All right. The crime in New York is either happening to you or none of your business. Why would I get that app? Just to be the worst Batman ever? To try to stop crime on foot? Is that my plan? There's a robbery happening 6 blocks away. I get there out of breath. Don't do it. Oh. No. The only reason I even had the Citizen app is because I loved the headlines. Because people can self-report, you know, they can tell you what's happening near you. And sometimes the police are not even aware of it. Sometimes it really is people seeing the thing, uploading it to Citizen, then the police come and all gets official and stuff. My favorite one that I've ever seen, and I have lots. Like, honestly, if you come to see me, I will be talking about this every set. I have endless. But one of my favorites was man exposing himself at Popeyes. And I loved it because they said exposing. They use a present tense, which means the dick is still out. Like, the dick is... The dick is currently at large. Yeah, I mean, they're like, he doing it right now. Please hurry. He's swinging everywhere. He getting on the chicken sandwiches. Please send somebody. No. Oh. Did I follow that okay? Did I do a good job? Y'all been great. I'm Josh Johnson. Have a good one.
I've struggled with an idea for a while, and it's how like everybody. This sounds so dumb. Just hold on. Give me a second. But it is crazy that everybody is a person. What I mean by that is when you're like a little kid and you just living your life, you know, you go to school and then you go home and then sometimes you play with your friends and sometimes you stay in and you watch cartoons. You know that you have a life. You know that you're a whole person, even if you don't have a full awareness of yourself. You know that you go to different places and you do different things. Even when you have a new experience, it doesn't even occur to you to be like, oh no, I don't do that. Because you're a kid just experiencing the world. But there are boxes that we put people in. I think it's completely unintentional. I don't think there's any malice behind it. But I remember the first time that I realized that someone who I definitely cared about and I definitely enjoyed their company and I definitely liked was a whole other person. I was a little kid. I was with my mom at the grocery store and we saw my teacher. And I was shocked. I was shocked. I was like, I said it out loud. I said it to her. Why aren't you at school? If you're here, then whose? It was a crazy thing in my head. My brain was breaking in that moment. I'm this little kid. I've only ever seen her at school. She's supposed to be at school. I shouldn't see her if I'm not at school. And she's over here buying groceries. I was like, you eat groceries? This is wild. And then she was over here having a conversation with my mom. They both ignored me asking why she wasn't at school. I still had questions. And then she, said she'd see us on Monday and walked away. And in my head, I was like, Monday? It's Saturday. She's not even going to be at school tomorrow. Blew my mind that one of my favorite teachers had like a house. And like, I'd always heard about her husband, but I thought that's just something teachers say to like pass the time and stuff. She had a whole life. And it feels like a silly lesson to learn when you're a kid, and then you get older and you realize you have to keep relearning it over and over again because you meet more and more people and you've already boxed them in. And then they surprise you and then you think, oh, I'm a little ashamed I was even surprised. I should know from when I was like 6 that people are like, everybody's a person. But it's an easy lesson to forget because you can only sometimes see a person in a certain way. Like my friend, I have a couple friends now who they've got drunk with their parents, and it's a boundary that some people never break with their parents. Sometimes their parents are like, oh, I'm gonna have a couple drinks, but I'm not gonna be drunk in front of my son. You know what I mean? And then there are people who will always have that thing of like, oh, I don't want to be drunk in front of my parent. You know what I mean? It's like weird. I feel like I'd be in trouble. It's like, well, you're 42. Yeah, but still. I don't know. I don't want my mom to see me drunk. You know, it's like, well, she saw you at your worst as a baby. I guarantee you drunk just brings you like one step above baby. But it was an interesting thing. My friend said that he got had a couple drinks with his dad. Now his dad was a sort of interesting case because when he was a kid, I don't know all the details, but his dad drank. And then there was something, whether it was something that happened or just like a general attitude towards drinking. At one point, his dad was like, you know what? I'm just not going to drink anymore. And he went like cold turkey sober for years and years and years, right? So he drank pretty heavily when my buddy was a kid, didn't drink until he was long out of the house. And it wasn't until after my buddy graduated college that his dad would like drink once in a while, have a drink with him. And finally one day his dad was like drunk with him. And he noticed his dad like drunk. And he was like, it's crazy because I know my dad used to drink. And I can only see my dad as my dad. So knowing my dad is like an annoying drunk. I don't know. I guess I forgot he could be a whole person. Like, because his dad had this weird like rivalry with him when he was drunk. He, walk up to him, impromptu, off of nothing. They're in the backyard. And he's like, hey. Looking good, young man, looking strong, looking tough. I mean, you looking real strong. What? You think you're stronger than me? What? I mean, no. Do you think you're stronger than me? We should race. You want to race? And he knows that a foot race with his dad sober wouldn't even be a contest. So he's like, nah, Dad, I'm good. He's like, no, come on. If you're scared, say so. If you're scared, say so. If you're scared, the old man still got it. If you're scared, say so. Said he made it into one of the most annoying songs he had ever heard in his life. Just until he would raise him, if you're scared, say so. And finally, he's like, all right, look, we'll race, fine. And he thinks if he stands up, his dad might just forget, because he's at that level of drunk where he's on a mission, but not a mission he has to complete. Y'all know that mission. It's one of my favorite missions to watch people have on like a night out. Especially with like... But one of my favorite side quests in any night out that a bunch of ladies are having is finding one of their phones. One phone will go missing. And it will be the biggest deal in the world for 12 minutes. And then the person whose phone is missing will be like, let's just dance. It's like, all right, but you should go get your phone though. Like, you do need to call an Uber at some point and get home. Like, we need your phone. It's like, yeah, but like later. Like, I don't know. It's just like, I don't even care. It's like, this is my song. And then it resets because then like several songs later, it'll be like, yeah, you look so good. I'm going to take a picture of you. I'm going to... Oh my God, everybody stop. Everybody stop. Not their friends, everybody in the club stop. Everybody stop. And so this dude stands up thinking like his dad's about to be over it anyway. And he's like, Dad, I really don't want to, like, we're having a good time. Like, let's just chill out. And his dad goes, no, race me. And he's like, all right, fine, okay. So they line up. He's not really gonna race his dad. He's gonna like walk and let his dad win. so he can feel good about being annoying for 15 minutes. But his dad stands up and he's ready. You ever see somebody look at a finish line like it's moving? Like... And then he said, all right, you ready? And they had already decided that his mom would say when to go. And so she said, go. And my buddy didn't even go. His dad took 3 steps and crashed into the patio table. And I don't know, yeah, it's gotta be tough. That's a moment that's like, you just know that now. You know your dad your whole life, and then now you're like, oh yeah, but like after the 5th Jameson, he will. You know. And that changes how you look at your dad a little bit, not even in the form of judgment, just like there's more information and you see him as like a whole person. You know good, you know bad, you know arguing with him, you know, and now you know this thing that you didn't really experience in the same way when you were a kid. Now you know. Even 4 Jamesons in, he's gonna go, no. Oh. Like I don't know if it's possible to remind yourself every time, every day, that a person is like a whole person. Because we are so distant. Person to person. Like when you meet someone that you've maybe heard about, you can only go off your impression. That impression is colored by whoever told you about this person. And it's hard to remember. I try to remind myself all the time that like, we're meeting this person. Nothing nice has been said. But I'm sure they have a dog. I don't know. Like some redeeming quality. You try to approach it like that. And, you know, I fail at it a lot. You know, sometimes I let, whether it's gossip or just like a preconceived notion, take over. And then you end up being friends with this person. And you feel even worse because you're like, ooh, I judged you so harshly when we met. You know, some of my best friends, when I met them, hated their guts. I hated because I was just like, oh, just look at his face. One of my best friends from college, when we met, us meeting was me asking him for a pencil. And him going, what? And so I just turned back around. I was like, all right, jerk. Turns out he just didn't hear me. We're like really good friends now, but yeah, that was not a great way to start. One of my best friends, we had that same thing. So he's a big dude. He's like 6'4", 6'5", like a strong guy, wide guy, right? Big dude. And we were both friends with a different guy. This is freshman year of college. And we had both done things in front of each other that made us go like, I don't know if I like that guy. Like I like our mutual friend, but I don't know if I like him. And then we kept being in scenarios where maybe we were waiting for our mutual friends and we were left alone with each other. And in my head, maybe it's because of where I come from, and maybe it's because I've never been the biggest guy in the room, but this is a big old dude and he doesn't seem like he liked me. So in my head, I was like, I just gotta act crazy. Like if I'm crazy, that'll keep at bay his size. Because even a big man doesn't want to get bit. You know what I mean? I don't care how big or strong you are. Once everybody saw what Mike Tyson did to Evander Holyfield, they were like, oh, yeah, crazy wins. Crazy will always win. I like my whole ear where it is. And then he noticed me being crazy. And so he was like, all right, I'm gonna have to flex how big I am. There was one time where we were waiting on our mutual friend because, forgot to mention earlier, our mutual friend was his roommate. So I had to be in their room a bunch before we actually got along. And I don't know, I saw him like eyeing me, and this is a college dorm room. So there's not a lot of space. So I'm like, this big guy's eyeing me. We're both waiting for our friend. So then I didn't know what to do. So I just started singing lyrics to Kanye West's 808 on a Heartbreak. No music. Impromptu. And lyrics I chose were, when I grab your neck, I touch your soul. And I just sang it to the wall, but loud enough for him to hear me. And I would later find out that when I did that, he was like, all right, that's one of the craziest things I've ever seen. In my entire life, I was trying to mug this dude into submission, but now he sang to the wall, not even facing anything. I don't know what he talking about. Why'd he sing it too? That's crazy. That's crazy as hell. It's so much crazier to sing than it is to scream. Like if you come across somebody on the street and they scream it, you're like, all right, that's regular. If they are singing lyrics you don't know exist yet because the album had just come out. If they're singing lyrics you don't know exist yet, get away. And so he was like, I gotta do something. Got to do something. And the thing that he decided to do was we both got a text from our mutual friend that it would be quicker for us to meet him where he was than wait for him to come back and us head out together. And so we decided to head out together. And while I'm in the hallway, it's a long hallway from the dorm room to the end of the suite. And when I'm in the hallway, I go, ah. And he says, what? And I'm like, I think a mosquito bit me. And I was being completely sincere in this moment. I started itching. I was like, what? And he's like, what happened? I think a mosquito bit me. And then he stands extra tall, every bit of 6'5", lets his eyes dart around the hallway and goes, you hurt my friend! And then he punched the wall as hard as he could. And when he moved his fist from the wall, there was a dead mosquito. And I was like, oh Lord, he big and crazy. Oh, I'm sick. Oh. And then we became best friends. We became best friends because we got to know each other. We got to know each other, and I got to know him as a whole person. I got to know how cool he was, how sincere he is, that he would do anything for his friends, including that mosquito thing. And he got to know me. And he still liked me. So we became best friends because I got to see like the whole person, you know? And then finally one day I told him about it. I was like, hey, freshman year, because when we were juniors, we became roommates. And I told him, like, hey, I just want to get something off my chest. Freshman year, when I was in the room with you and I just started singing, I was just trying to be crazy because I thought, like, you were real big and, like, I don't know, I had been bullied a lot, so I was trying to, like, keep you at bay. And he was like, oh, that's so good to know. Which means in the time that we had become friends, he still thought, like, no, that's what he does, though. Like, that's who he is as a person. I was like, that's so good to know. Because, honestly, I was wondering what I'd have to do. I thought you were genuinely crazy. And that's why I punched that wall. When I moved my hand, I couldn't believe the mosquito had actually... It's wild stuff. Yeah. Yeah. Because it's tough sometimes accepting that someone was like a whole person. Because it is easier. If someone sucks, it's easier to just, lean on exactly what you know, and that's enough for you, and they suck, and that's the end of it. It's not necessary in your mind to get down to the deeper root of the issue about why they might be the way they are. Whatever. They suck, and I'm done talking about them. Like when I think about some of the most powerful people in the world, I think that way all the time. I forget that it's like a whole person because they suck. They suck so much. Like, I do my best to not be closed-minded about people. But the more I learn, the worse it gets. And no person is just one thing. Even monsters. Some monsters that get true crime documentaries made about them. They'll interview the kids. And sometimes the kids will be like, yeah, actually, he was like a super present father and everything. Like, it was kind of crazy. I know he killed all those people, but he came to all my soccer games. Like, it's a lot to process. No. Like, I don't know what makes a person. I'm not a psychologist. I don't know what makes a person the way that they are. I just have guesses. Sometimes my guesses are good, and I get to have a conversation with the person and see that I was kind of close. And then sometimes my guesses are totally off base because I don't have their mind. I can't act like I know why someone is the way that they are. I know for certain because of the people that I've been around. I know that sometimes when you grow up with real money, real privilege, it can be very difficult unless you are like delusional enough to accept the position you're in as anything more than like the randomness of who is born to who. It's very difficult to feel like you've made or earned anything yourself. If you are just born into billions, you see that's one of the reasons these people have to like make their mark on the world to prove that they're not just like some accident. Because within those families sometimes, and like, look, I'm not acting like I know billionaires. I know millionaires. And it's a little similar, but at the same time, there are some millionaires that are barely millionaires, so they still acting like they're middle class. Even though they're millionaires, it's actually pretty sad. And then there are people that are like multimillionaires, and I don't even really know that many multimillionaires, but I know those people have at least accepted their position as people with like wealth and privilege, right? I don't know any billionaires. But I do know the people that I am friends with that work with like truly insane net worth individuals have said things like, at a certain amount of money, it's not even money anymore. It's just you moving your will throughout the world. And that is how people with that much money think. And so if you are like a child born into this thing, especially if you don't take to it the way that we imagine people will take to it, because remember, a person is a whole person, but a lot of people will have a kid and have an idea of a child before the child is ever there. And then that idea of a child is exactly what this whole person has to be, or else they're a disappointment, or else they're a failure, right? I had the idea of you before you were ever here. And the idea of you that I had was, we play these sports together. I teach you to do this thing. We go to these things. You love the stuff that I love. Those are the hopes of like every parent. Every parent wants to share the things that they love with their kid. And hopefully the kid loves them too. Because as much as you love your sports team, as much as you love your favorite hobby, it'd be so much more enjoyable if the person you love the most loved it too. A lot of people have those hopes. That's common. That's normal. But this like world of wealth, they have an idea of maybe building a legacy, building an empire. And now whoever comes, whatever this child is, they will be someone who can uphold, build up, maintain the empire that I built. They're not having like a child. They're having a vessel to continue their wealth into the future. And that's got to be difficult to grow up in, because yes, you have all this money, you have all this privilege, you have access to all these different things, but there's a person looking at you like you don't even deserve to be here. And then there's everybody else that if you tried to tell them how it felt, they'd be like, oh, I'm sorry I couldn't hear you through all that money. You know? Cry me a river. You ever felt a penny before? And so you see people really trying to exercise out all of this trauma in a way where they still move their will throughout the world. So then we become the collateral damage of them trying to exercise demons, because they have the access to change the world the way that they see fit. And that leaves us in a very dangerous position. And I don't know exactly how to fix that, what to do about that, but I do know it presents itself in like little moments. Small moments where you can see, oh, this is like a kid. This is like a hurt kid. You know? Most powerful man in the world. Incredibly rich, billionaire. But this is a kid. This is a scared kid. This is a hurt kid. This is an angry kid. And I'm not saying that takes away all the damage, all the things that are being created by what this kid is doing. But like, I see you differently now. Like, in theory, I should be scared of you. I should be worried about what your next move is going to be. I should be worried if you're going to send someone to hurt me or my family, because you could do that. You're a very powerful person. But then things happen. And I see you react like a kid. And it's weird to see you as a whole person, you know? Like, I'm not going to, how do I put this? I could tell Trump was hurt by that South Park episode because Because the White House released a statement. There are school shootings where the White House doesn't release a statement. The White House released a statement. They were like, hey, look, South Park hadn't been relevant for a while now anyway. Nobody even watched. Ain't nobody crying. Nobody hurt. No. Like, I've watched... I watched Trump go to the Fed. He went to the Fed and he was with Jerome Powell. Now, Donald Trump put Jerome Powell in that position, all right? Donald Trump made Jerome Powell Fed chair, right? And now Donald Trump can't stand Jerome Powell and doesn't know who appointed him. And so, he goes to the Fed. I guess they showing him where they make the money, shred the money. I don't know why he needed to go. He goes on a field trip to the Fed. You know, this is a very funny thing about Donald Trump. He has been very rich his entire life, but he still acts like new money. I have expected Trump to see the money being printed in front of him and go, but this dude he's at the Fed with Jerome Powell, and look, you can say numbers. You can say numbers in whatever order you want. No, you can say numbers and he can say more numbers. You can say numbers, that's your right to say numbers however you see fit. Whatever numbers you like, you can say them in 4, 3, 3, 4. You can do whatever you want. Numbers are there for you to play with. Numbers serve at your pleasure, right? Say whatever numbers you want in whatever order you want, whenever you want. That will not make it math. And so Trump is talking to the media, and he just like throwing out numbers. He's saying numbers, right? He's, numbers, good numbers, and some bad numbers. Let's get those bad numbers out of there. Good numbers, more numbers, extra numbers, right? And quickly, almost immediately, Jerome Powell is standing off to the side, and he goes, oh, no. Jerome Powell was shaking his head. You know those people who got like perfect pitch? Jerome Powell was shaking his head like somebody with perfect pitch going to karaoke. Like it's... And look, this is not something that happens often. No, Trump's used to talking, and when he talks, people either nod or they stay quiet. And we saw this in spectacular fashion in like 2020. Because he would stand up there, and then the people next to him, the people behind him, sometimes you catch them being like, huh? Like they were still trying to process what he said. But then he would just be talking. And sometimes he'd even turn to them, look for some confirmation. What do you think about that? And then they would be like, we'll have to check. I've never had the taste of bleach in my mouth, but... I suppose anything's possible. these experts, these doctors, these people, they weren't doing the thing that they should have been doing, which was because he didn't just shake his head. He said it. He said it out loud. No, 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 no. Maybe we wouldn't be in this position if more people, and I'm not even talking about politicians right now, I mean more people who have to deal with government had the courage to say, no, no, that's not how medicine works, no, that's not science, no, that's not English, no, no. A simple no is powerful, you know? And so sure enough, Trump hates Jerome Powell. Trump hates Jerome. Oh, he hates Jerome. Oh. Trump hates Jerome. Trump hates Jerome. Like, let Jerome. Trump hates Jerome Powell, so he hate him so good. Trump hates Jerome Powell so much, he did something he never does. He did something we haven't seen him do. Either time he's been president, he did something I didn't even think he was capable to do. Trump hates Jerome Powell so much. Through his teeth, he hate him. He hate him so much that Donald Trump did homework. Because he was saying the numbers, and he was saying the numbers, and he was saying the numbers, he was saying the numbers. And then Jerome Powell went, no, no, no. And even Tim Scott was next to Trump, nodding and saying yes, while he was saying no. Yes, with those big teeth, saying yes, 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 swinging those teeth, yes, yes. But Donald Trump heard Jerome Powell's no, and it was almost like he had practiced this. He was ready. He hates Jerome Powell so much. Ooh, he hates. Ooh, he hate him. And so he goes, huh? What? No. Oh, well, I have the paper right here. And then Donald Trump pulled out a piece of paper and handed it to Jerome Powell like it was checkmate. I had never seen this man prepared in his life. Usually, when Trump has a chart or a piece of paper, it's because he already has a point he's trying to make and he's just using that to illustrate. Trump has never had a Trump card. This man pulled out the piece of paper. You could see even Jerome was surprised. He was like, paper? Reading? You saw Jerome had to break out the glasses for it. He was like, oh. And because numbers are numbers, because math is at least something that, even if you have bias, even if you have an intention towards an intended goal, the math will still make sense or not make sense. Something will be true or not true, right? And so even Jerome Powell, I'm not saying I know this man, I'm not saying he's infallible, but in this moment I'm thinking maybe he's even thinking, whoa, what if I'm wrong here? What if there's something I don't know about? The president just pulled a piece of paper out as soon as I started saying no, like he rehearsed this. So he takes the piece of paper, throws the glasses on, and you can see him reading it. You can watch the clip. And he goes, no, no, no,